Hey Siri, define expedite.
Make an actional process happen sooner or be accomplished more quickly.
Okay, cool. I don't want to be saying things that are not words. Okay. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Cheryl. If you're new, welcome to the C Squad. Over here we do beauty, fashion, lifestyle, vlogs, and a bunch of university content. So if you like the sound of that, then hit the subscribe button below. Follow me on Instagram and join the fam. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for joining me again. So today I'm going to be telling you guys about how much it really costs to study in the UK, more specifically in Brighton. So a little disclaimer, I get a lot of questions on my comments asking me about how I pay for my fees and about my financial situation and all that stuff, and I get very uncomfortable, and I think a lot of people do when it comes to like financial questions, because it's just so like personal, you know what I mean? So really the only thing I can tell you guys is to go and look on your university's website or the university you want to go to and look at the different scholarships that they offer. They offer scholarships for international students, for people who are academically gifted, for people who are musically gifted, you know, for people who are good at sports and all that stuff. So definitely check that out. Keep in mind that as international students who are on visas, we are allowed to work part-time. So I'm allowed to work 20 hours a week, so also keep that in mind. But genuinely guys, if you guys want someone to like sponsor you, or you want like scholarships outside of your university, I'm not the one to ask. I don't have the answers for you. If I did, trust me, I would tell y'all. I would let y'all in, but I ain't got nothing to tell you. So with that being said, don't bombard my TL with these questions, because I've given you everything that I know. So let's get right into it. So the first major cost that you're going to encounter before you even step foot in the UK is visa costs. Now I've got all my amounts written down here, so if you guys see me looking down, that is why. And also keep in mind that I'm going to be putting these prices in pounds, and if I feel like it, I might convert them into rands. So yeah, so the first cost is the cost of your actual visa application. So for them to even look at your visa, you have to pay this, and this is £348. Next comes at the end of your visa application, you have to pay a health surcharge. This is basically so that you can have access to the NHS, which is free healthcare in the UK, so you can go to the doctor and you can do all that stuff, and that is for free because you previously paid for it. And that is £350 a year. So if you're doing a 3-year degree, that is £1,050. The next charge is if you want to expedite your visa and you want it to be processed a lot faster. So you can pay to make your visa application a priority so that it is completed in 5 days, and that costs £573. And you can do super priority, which processes your visa in 24 hours, and that is £956. Keep in mind, because I feel like I low-key got played, but it's fine. So sometimes you can pay for priority and you will be expecting your visa in 5 days and it won't come in those 5 days. I think mine took like almost 2 weeks. It was like 10 days. It was double the amount of time that it was supposed to take. So keep in mind, it can be a scam, but it's there if you want it. And also you have to do a tuberculosis test, and this is the only price I have in rands because I had to go and check how much the specific clinic that they do it at costs, and that is 2,500 rand for that test. If you guys want me to do a video on how to get a tier 4 visa, because some of these things may not make much sense to you, then please let me know. I've been battling with myself on whether I should make this video, because I went online and I was trying to see like what is happening at the moment with processing visas, since we're like in a pandemic, and it kind of seems like some centers are open and some are not, and then some are open for some things, like if you want to collect your passport, but they're not open for actually doing applications. So I really don't know if I should do it or if it's even worth doing at this point, so you guys can comment down below and let me know if you want that video, and I'm happy to do it. The next thing that you have to pay for is your tuition. So tuition in the UK ranges, from what I've seen, between £16,000 and £21,000. I know if you go to maybe a smaller university or more of like a college type of university that maybe only specializes in a couple of degrees, like maybe it's more focused on business or something like that, then those can be a little bit cheaper. Those can go down to 14,000 or 12,000. So yeah, but that is the cost for international students, and sometimes it depends on your course as well. I have a friend at Sussex who's studying economics, I believe, and our fees are different by about like £2,000. So also maybe check and try and study something that is a little bit cheaper. The next thing is maintenance, which kind of falls under the visa stuff, so I'm just gonna touch on it a little bit. But basically, in order to get your visa to study in the UK, you need to show that you can cover your first year costs. So you need to have the amount of your first year in your bank account. And you also need to show that you can pay for your living costs for, I believe, the first 9 months you're in the UK. So they've actually calculated these amounts for you. So if you're living in London, you need to show that you have £1,265 a month to sustain yourself, and that would be for 9 months. And then if you're outside of London, you need to show that you have £1,015 per month. The next thing is accommodation. I have done a video on accommodation at the University of Sussex, so if you have not seen that, then definitely go and check it out, because those have like the actual prices of each accommodation at the University of Sussex. So at the University of Sussex, and I think at most universities, your accommodation can range between £4,000 and £6,000. At other universities, I have seen in the really lush accommodations that it can go up to £7,000 or £8,000. But for the most part, if you are willing to not have an ensuite, if you're willing to share a bathroom and live in older accommodation, you can get cheaper accommodation. So I stayed in like pretty cheap housing in my first year, so my accommodation was a lot cheaper. And then if you're living off campus, from what I've seen, most accommodation is about £500 to £600 a month, and that is usually including bills, but sometimes it's not. So that's what you're looking at if you're going to live in Brighton and off campus. The next thing is transport. So when you're taking the bus, basically in Brighton, we have like a standard charge for students. So for like a 24-hour ticket, which means you can go anywhere you want to in the Brighton and Hove area for 24 hours, that is £3.75. And then if you are someone who's living off campus, you'd most likely want to get like a bus ticket for you to be going to campus every day. So the longest number of days they have is a 90-day pass for you to go anywhere and everywhere for 90 days, and that is £149. And then the train is a little bit cheaper. If you're going into Brighton, a return ticket is like £3. If you're going into London, that's gonna be more expensive. That's like £30. I should actually let you guys know, like, I thought traveling around the UK would be a lot cheaper than it actually is. It is a lot pricier than expected. So I believe a trip to London, like a day trip to London, is like £30. And then a day trip to like Leeds, I think, is like £70. So things are a little bit pricey if you're looking at traveling, and obviously if you're looking to go to different countries, that's a whole other situation. Now for the last few things, I'm just going to run down just average living costs when you're staying in Brighton. Keep in mind that Brighton and London kind of tend to be the more expensive cities in the UK. If you travel more north to like Leeds or Nottingham, things will be cheaper, like drinks will be cheaper, clubbing fees will be cheaper, Ubers are cheaper, food in general is cheaper. Like, there are a lot of things that are just cheaper the more north you go. But for London and Brighton, these are pretty much like the prices that you should expect. So the first thing is my phone. How do I pay for my airtime and data? So I'm on Leica Mobile. I literally on my way to Sussex, my first day when I had just gone to the UK, I just stopped by a gas station and I just asked them what they thought was best, and they said Leica Mobile, so I just took that. So that's what I'm using. So I don't know if other phone companies are better or have better rates. I just know what I use. So I get this bundle. It's called the Data Saver bundle, and it is 6 gigabytes for a month and unlimited UK calls, and that is £15. So I just charge it up every single month. And then in terms of food shopping, I would say when I do like a big Asda shop, I probably spend like about £40, and that will last me like 2.5 weeks. So I would say for food shopping, you should probably budget around £80. Also, look to buy at cheaper places. Like Aldi is a little bit cheaper than maybe like Co-op. And the Co-op on campus, specifically like on campus at University of Sussex, can be really expensive. So obviously, like, I get lazy sometimes when it comes to ordering on Asda, and sometimes I'm just like, I'm just gonna pop into Co-op and buy, you know, something, and it actually ends up being way more expensive at Co-op than it would have been at Asda. Then as far as takeout goes, guys, takeout is expensive. I would budget at least £20 per meal that you're going to buy using takeout. At Domino's, a single large pizza is minimum £20, guys. So yeah, even like sushi from Sushi Mania is minimum £20. Like that's like the minimum that you're gonna be spending. So yeah, I would opt to rather eat on campus. Like if you're lazy to cook and you are thinking about getting a takeaway, it's much cheaper to eat what's on campus. You're still gonna be paying like £6-7 for a burger and stuff, and that is still pricey when you think about like how much things cost in South Africa, but it's cheaper than, you know, buying actual takeout from other restaurants. Now the next thing is going out. I can't really give you guys a budget as far as what a typical night out is, because that depends on how much you drink, that depends on what kind of clubs you like to go to, that just depends on you. So I'm just gonna give you what standard rates are. So in terms of entrance into nightclubs, that can range from £5 to £10. I do get a discount at Prism, and I believe my discount goes down to £5 because I'm part of a sports society, so I do get into Prism cheaper. But I would say on average, if I'm going to any other club, I probably pay about like £7 or £8 entrance. Then if you're getting shots, a minimum shot, which shook me, it genuinely shook me when I got to the UK, was that a minimum shot of Jaeger, tequila, whatever it is, will be minimum £3, which maybe doesn't sound like a lot, but 60 rand for a shot sounds ridiculous to me. It genuinely sounds ridiculous. So that's what we're working with here, folks. But as I said before, up north, it might be like £2. So work with what you have. And then if you're actually getting like drinks, like actual physical drinks, those are probably going to be around £8, like cocktails or even just like vodka and lemonade. That's about £8, fam. Now in terms of hobbies, again, I can't give you a straight number as to how much like you're going to be spending on societies and clubs, but keep in mind that if you do want to be part of a society and you do want to go to club events and all that stuff, that also costs money. Speaking as someone on the cheer squad, they're always asking me to pay stuff. Like literally, it's like every other week there's just something else that you have to pay for, whether it's transport for competitions, accommodation, uniforms, tickets for family members to come and watch. It's just is a lot. It's a lot. And also, like if you're part of like maybe the ACS, African Caribbean Society, you know, they have events and stuff, and you have to pay like £3 to get in, or like £2 or whatever, and all those things really do start to add up. So yeah, that's really everything on studying and living in the UK and how much it costs. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to join the C Squad, and hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos. I post every Wednesday and Sunday at 5 p.m. UK time. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!